Hello, my name is Kimberly, and this is my channel, The Amazing Kimmeth. Today we are going over the Warhammer novel Interceptor City by Dan Abnett. So grab yourself a cup of recap or amasec and let's get into this book. And as always, I have down in the description links so you can grab this book for yourself. This book takes place 20 years after the events in Double Eagle. The main character is Bree Jagda. She was a pilot then. The book starts off with her as she is a pilot, but she's just doing cargo runs. She's just being simple about it, being safe, just doing something day in, day out. It's monotonous, but it pays the bills, and that's all she cares about right now. Since she was an ace pilot, she's wanted, she gets conscripted, she gets called back into action. She has to go to the planet Lysander. There is a hive city that has fallen. It's a dead hive city, and that's Vesperus. And chaos has been bombing this city, so her job is to join a group of other ace pilots and fight off chaos and stop the bombings and that sort of thing. The group that she is put into is called the Circus 66 Squadron. And it's infamous. Folks normally don't last that long. They pretty much have a dead board where if you make it more than one run, it's a big deal. They keep track, they keep tally of folks and what they take down, how many they take down, how many runs they do, stuff like that. And every run is celebrated, especially when they come back. The missions that these guys are sent on, it's kamikaze in nature. It is always a surprise when they come back, if they come back. And Jagda is just really good at flying, so she always makes it back. And Jagda, since she is a veteran, she is dealing with PTSD, and I really did like how the book goes into that and how it is affecting her mind. And this book has a little bit of a psychological thriller feel to it because everyone has PTSD and they're in this high stress situation in these urban fighting areas, and it's just dogfights constantly and the high stress with the other pilots. And with that, there is a bit of a subplot where there is someone killing the pilots. This person has been dubbed a White Crow because it's friendly fire. They know it's someone within the Circus 66 Squadron. And there is this bit of paranoia that folks start to get because they're like, who is it? Who's suspect? Everyone is suspect because everyone is on edge. Jagda, of course, has her suspicions, and she takes it into her own hands and she starts confronting people, and it becomes an entire mess of a situation. It reiterates the psychological stress of this combat that they're going through. At the end, they do figure out who this White Crow is, and it is a bit satisfying when you find out who it is, but it's a little lackluster with how the whole situation is handled. And it kind of is your typical Dan Abnett where you want this story to be a good 10, 20 more pages long, but he just wraps it up so quickly. Unfortunately, that is the Dan Abnett style, but the rest of the book is a banger. The pacing of this book is marvelous. It is your perfect Dan Abnett pacing where you get that high anxiety and then it lulls you down so you can take a breather and then you're back into action again. One thing that I did really like about this book, a lot of books with the Imperial Guard, it's just boots on the ground, people on a planet fighting lasgun to lasgun. But with this being pilots and dogfights, it was a really interesting take, and I felt a unique take for Warhammer universe and Warhammer fighting. It is the sequel to Double Eagle. However, the way Dan Abnett writes this book, it can be read as a standalone. I was a total dodo bird and read this book before I read Double Eagle, knowing full well that I have Double Eagle on my bookshelf and I need to read it. It's fine. The way Dan Abnett writes this book, I didn't feel like I was going into this blind. I don't feel like I missed out on anything, but I am going to read Double Eagle there will be a video about it when I get to it. So yeah, Interceptor City by Dan Abnett is a book that I definitely recommend you read. Have you read this book? What did you think about it? And as always, what should I read next?